As you guys can see up on the screen today, I wanted to talk a little bit about American Virtual Cloud Technologies Incorporated. Once again, that company is an absolute mouthful, but it is a very, very interesting and exciting company and stock that a lot of people have been trading a ton recently and has been very, very volatile, and one that we've covered on this channel before and will most likely continue to cover because it's so volatile, it's so interesting, it has so many people excited, not excited. It's very, very polarizing with a ton of people on both sides, and that's what I at least think makes it very, very interesting and makes for pretty good YouTube videos. But this stock kind of had a rough day. This is one that people were really looking at as, hopefully having a big week or trying to be, some short squeeze play or just some hype, exciting play on Reddit, YouTube, different social medias, Twitter, all over the place. But again, down 7% today for AVCT, overall down 18 cents from our 257 close yesterday, closing at $2.39 today. But we did have a big spike after hours. I mean, after hours, we're up 1.67% now after things have kind of calmed back down. But for a while there, we were up 7, almost 8% after hours. We actually got back to even for a little while after hours. So obviously, even though today was largely a, not so great day, I think if you zoom out a little bit, looking at the past week for AVCT, we're still up 59% despite being down 7% today. And over the course of the past month, we're still up around 45%. So things are still trending in the right direction for AVCT. No stock. You will not find a single stock on the market that just goes straight up and only up every single day, every single week, every single month. Nothing like that. So while yes, a down 7% day is not fun and it might be tough to, stomach, which is why, at least in my opinion, people who are not open to a ton of volatility or not super interested in a ton of volatility, probably shouldn't even be considering a stock like this. I don't necessarily think it's the end of the world because yes, a minus 7% day is really, really crazy, but this thing has had, 35% up days as well. So it kind of just puts everything into perspective that overall, again, just zooming out just even a little bit, AVCT is still performing very, very well. But I did want to dive into some things. Obviously, there is some news to get to of why it's actually popping after hours, or at least partly why it's popping after hours. But first, I wanted to go over what is even going on with AVCT, because obviously it's a company that before these past couple of weeks, a lot of people had probably never even heard of, and who knows, who's done their research or who's dove into the numbers or even the business model or anything like that. I've talked about it a little bit in some of my videos, but we haven't gone this in depth before. So I really did appreciate this article from seekingalpha.com. AVCT, know what you own, which is obviously very, very smart. And they do say that AVCT owns two operating businesses. We have Computex and we have Candy Communications. Both subsidiaries have low gross margins and are generating substantial losses. Now, obviously, that is not a great thing to hear, and that does play a big part in why AVCT, the stock has seen such a dramatic, if this loads, such a dramatic fall off. We're down 67% on the year. In 5 years, we are down as well, 75%. So yeah, I mean, obviously these are two, branches of the company that are not doing that well, and are losing a ton of money. That's what's led to this company not doing so well over the past couple of years, and it's what led to it being so heavily shorted, which, if you're looking for a short squeeze play, maybe is right in your wheelhouse. But if you understand that, being shorted obviously puts downward momentum and pressure on the stock that you're investing in, not something you want to be super, super excited about either. Because at the same time, a company being over shorted can maybe be a good thing, but usually there are some reasons, why a company is shorted in the first place. They do talk about how management has written down the value of Computex by 33% and is actively trying to sell the business. But again, who necessarily wants to take on a low gross margin business that's been generating substantial losses when, even if they're interested in getting to, the same type of field or same type of business or whatever, you'd almost be better off maybe just starting your own branch or starting your own company or buying a maybe more successful company. Candy's revenue is growing, but low gross margins and high operational expenses mean the company is far from profitability. But that is obviously one of the potential lights at the end of the tunnel for AVCT. If they are able to sell off Computex, get some amount of money, and stop all the cash that this branch of their business is, kind of just burning. And then Candy, as the revenue grows, obviously, eventually they hope to be able to get to profitability. So not only is Candy growing, and it's kind of the arm that they want to invest more in and put more time, energy, resources into, if they're able to cut off the arm that's not doing so well, that's, kind of a twofold way that AVCT could see, some bettering financials and fundamentals in the short term and long term. The price of AVCT shares are volatile, and this guy is bearish towards the company, but he doesn't recommend shorting it. He does talk about, a summary of recent events. AVCT had just completed transition from a SPAC to an operating business, having made a deal to acquire IT services company Computex. The initial combination valued Computex at $61 million. In December of 2020, AVCT announced the acquisition of Candy Communications, a division of Ribbon Communications. The acquisition valued Candy at $44 million. Both acquisitions were paired with convertible debentures and warrants instead of cash, which helped keep the company's balance sheet healthy, but has led to significant shareholder dilution. The company's share count ballooned from about 20 million shares at the start of 2021 to over 65 million shares as of September 2021. In July of 2022, AVCT management announced that they had received an unsolicited bid for the company at $9 per share. I don't know why it says July 2022. Management did not move forward with that offer, but did quickly announce the leadership changes within the company had outlined a plan to convert their debentures to reduce debt. Now, that's pretty crazy. Talking about July 2021, being able to sell for $9 a share and turning that down. And then obviously, we're at $2.39 a share right now. Kind of crazy. In the company's third quarter earnings report, management announced that they were looking to sell Computex and wrote down $20 million worth of goodwill. On December 3rd, the company announced they were updating 2022 revenue estimates for Candy to $36 million, a 100% increase from estimated 2021 revenue. Finally, on December 14th, management announced an equity raise of $25 million. So that is obviously very, very interesting. And that led me to, checking out the Short Squeeze subreddit, seeing what's going on with a lot of these plays, seeing this post called AVCT News. And this comes from Globe Newswire, where Candy and Etisalat report, I don't know how you pronounce that, report record growth in the adoption of unified communications, UCaaS and CPaaS solutions in the Middle East region. Etisalat expands Cloud Talk enterprise collaboration solutions with innovative real-time communications capabilities for vertical industry sectors powered by Candy's growing global partner ecosystem. So this is AVCT's Candy Communications business unit, what we just talked about. Candy, a global leader in secure and intelligent cloud communications, today announced the growth of its partnership with Etisalat, one of the world's leading telecom groups in emerging markets, along with new offerings enabling embedded communications and business applications for large enterprises in the region. The Etisalat Cloud Talk and Business Edge, powered by Candy's unified communications and collaboration platform, there's just such long run-on sentences here, is a feature-rich, cloud-based real-time communication solution that provides over 50,000 end users with a safe, secure, and multifunctional communication and collaboration platform. Cloud Talk Meeting extends the Cloud Talk service to mobile workforces, connecting BYOD personnel to the entire company with features including HD video, virtual meetings, desktop sharing with screen sharing functionality, whiteboard using an interactive tool that facilitates creativity, and toll-free audio conferencing. Etisalat and Candy are also enabling innovative communication solutions for its enterprise customers, working closely with key application developers to embed real-time communications into critical telehealth applications. Obviously, telehealth, potentially an expanding market. Excuse me, something that could be very, very exciting. I had to burp, and then my eyes started watering. Obviously, something that could be very, very interesting and exciting going forward in the future. Obviously, a lot of people expect growth in, telehealth applications, but there are a lot of companies, burning a lot of money on stuff like that right now as well. They've enabled UAE hospitals to provide access to healthcare anytime, anywhere, improving the patient experience and medical outcomes. So a lot of good news here. Obviously, it seems like Candy and AVC Technologies, AVCT, is doing some good things internationally. Now, obviously, some people would rather do better, in a big, massive market like the United States, but obviously the Middle East, UAE, these are emerging regions. These are regions that still have a lot of potential, a lot of growth, and if you're in the right markets and in the right places, a lot of money, big consumer bases, and they can be a little bit easier to get into with a lot less competition, especially when you're struggling in some of the bigger markets, when you're burning a lot of money, all that stuff. Now, with all that being said, it sounds like they're trying to do a lot of, video conferencing, telehealth, all that stuff. To me, this seems like it might be a little, too late. I mean, you're going to tell me 2-3 years into the global pandemic where everyone has been needing and using telehealth and everyone has been needing and using, video conferencing solutions and audio conferences and all this stuff. Now you're gonna start, expanding into this stuff and using this stuff more and making these big partnerships and showing all this growth. Like, I don't know. This seems like, 2020, this would have been awesome. And in 2022, it's maybe just a little slow, a little, like I said, too little, too late. Like, yes, it is a good sign. Yes, they're doing some cool things. And, in this Reddit thread, people seem excited. It sounds like, they're trying to replace Zoom, it sounds like. And yeah, that's what it sounds like to me, like a combination of, like Teledoc and Zoom. And, like I said, those two companies kind of peaked in 2020 or 2021. And I don't think people really expect, at least near term, maybe 5-10 years from now, Teledoc, Zoom, AVCT with their candy arm, see a bunch of growth and make a bunch of money. But in the short term, it seems like this stuff is a little kind of late, but it's still very, very interesting. And again, people after hours, we're kind of excited about some of this good news coming out, but like I said, it has kind of reverted back down to maybe the point where people aren't as excited anymore. But yeah, that's kind of what's going on with AVCT. Just wanted to give you guys an update. That's pretty much it for this video today. Definitely drop a like if you did enjoy it. I would appreciate it so much. Leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think about AVCT stock. I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts and opinions. Subscribe, save today, and all my latest content. Hopefully catch you guys in the next one. But until then, peace.